All right. Welcome in, Nagy Nation. We got a AFC North special playoff implication game here. We got the Steelers going to Baltimore, A&T Bank Stadium, to play the Baltimore Ravens. And both of these teams looking to try to get themselves into the playoffs. Steelers need some help. Ravens are a win and in. But a whole bunch of 8 and 9 projected 8 and 9 teams. If the Steelers win this, they'd be 8 and 9. So would the Ravens. And then it'll come down to a whole bunch of tiebreakers for who is the team that is going to make it in to the playoffs. So winning it in for Baltimore, and then Steelers trying to create some havoc around here to make things interesting for everyone else. There's a whole bunch of teams kind of sitting in that 8 and 9 area. To get going here in Week 18, the final regular season game here in the AFC North. Hey Earl, welcome in. Go Browns! As Phil's going to get us kicked off here. He just came back from his vacation. Unfortunately, his wife is not feeling too well, so he's going to be busy taking care of her. But we're going to get this one going here with the Ravens having the first crack at this. As they receive the opening kickoff. That's right, Lamar wants a full guaranteed. There's a look at his season, 21 for 15, 3,500 or almost 3,600 yards on the season. But yes, he wants that fully guaranteed money, and the Watson deal is certainly looming large in those proceedings. 1st and 10 out of the little pistol. He's got handoff to J.K. Dobbins, who is going to be tackled very quickly for a TFL, and Hayward right up in there creating havoc there in the backfield and tackling J.K. Dobbins. You can see Hayward just blitzing that gap quickly, along with the linebacker. 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, Lamar. He's got the snap. He's going to do a little delayed handoff. J.K. Dobbins tries a second attempt up the middle, and nothing doing as he's only going to just get back to the line of scrimmage there. Bringing up a 3rd and 11, so they're going to spread him out wide here. Trips to the left. Out of the gun, Lamar back to pass. Now working up in the pocket. He's got a man. That's Andrews, who's going to break some tackles there. Mark Andrews with a very nice grab over the middle to salvage this drive, and a big strike downfield from Lamar on the money as Mark Andrews' safety blanket was popping free in the middle of that zone. You see him there in the seam as he was able to collect that ball and work upfield through some tackles in the effort. Another little pistol formation here for Lamar. Little handoff to J.K. Dobbins, who is met again at the line of scrimmage, and the defense so far allowing very little on the ground as Devin Bush gets in there on the tackle. So 2nd and 9 after a pickup of 1. Another little pistol formation here. Back to pass. Now scrambling out of the pocket, he's flush, he's going to run with it. No, he's going to throw very late. I'm surprised they didn't flag that. I thought for sure he was past the line, but they didn't call it. So 3rd and 2 after pickup of 7. There's no way he wasn't past that line. I don't know how that wasn't called. As a little option keeper for Lamar is going to get shut down after a pickup of 1. And Edmonds coming up to make that tackle is going to hold the Ravens short. Yeah, no, I agree, Earl. I know a lot of folks are saying, crying about the wide receiver or screaming about the wide receiver and the D tackle rooms. And I think the Browns are very much happy with both of those position groups, as the Ravens are going to elect to go for this on 4th and 1 from the 34 instead of going for a long field goal. So they're going to hand it off to J.K. Dobbins. This time he's got some success, and his best run of the day is good for a 4th down conversion for these Baltimore Ravens. Nice run from J.K. Dobbins. 1st and 10. But I agree. I think the J.K. Dobbins is going to test the middle yet again, having a difficult time there in the middle, this time for 3. I agree. I think Bell's going to be very, very good, and I also think that GPJ is going to be very good. I think that wide receiver core can be is very talented, unproven, surely, but I think with Deshaun Watson, he's going to elevate the talent around him on the as we see a 3rd and 2 here out of the pistol for the Ravens. Little handoff to J.K. Dobbins. He spins out of a tackle, but then gets tripped up on his blocker, and that unfortunately is going to result in another 4th down. And you suspect here that the Ravens are going to elect to just kick this one rather than go for it again on 4th down. But no, I think that wide receiver core is solid. With the Deshaun Watson probably elevating the play of those wide receivers, as the kick is up and the kick is good. So successfully completing 1 4th down, but not going for 2 are the Baltimore Ravens. So they'll settle for 3 points on that drive, which was a bit of a start and stop drive, a bit sputtery as they got going at times. It got chunks, but then had a difficult time running the ball. And were shut down ultimately by the defense before they could do more damage than just a chip shot field goal. But I also think that Schwartz has got an opportunity to play very well, and that wide receiver core in general is a lot better than they're getting credit for, at least talent-wise. And if Deshaun can really elevate them, then look out. I think they're very, very good. So 1st and 10 now, as the handoff there to Najee Harris, who is going to fight off 1 tackler but get only 2 yards on the carry. I believe it's Kenny Pickett we have here starting for the Steelers. The handoff to Najee Harris is going to go for go backwards a yard there, so he's going to lose 1. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 9. And welcome in, Darnell. Go Browns. And yeah, I thought he should have gone for that too, Phil. I was surprised they didn't go for it twice. They had success the first time. Although I guess it was a 4th and 2, not a 4th and 1. But still, in that position, I like the going for it on 4th down a lot better than I like the chip shot field goal. 3rd and 9 now. Back to pass for Kenny Pickett. He is getting pressured, and the sack is going to come as Calais Campbell gets back there fighting through a block and really with the blocker on one arm and Kenny Pickett on the other. Calais Campbell powers through both, as you're going to see it right here, working his way through just a bull rush to get to Kenny Pickett there, and the big man moving bodies there. That was an impressive bull rush there from Calais Campbell as the tackle just got driven completely backwards. And that'll bring up a 4th and 20, and of course a Steelers punt here. So Lamar's going to get another crack at it here, and he's going to get to start from his own 39 on this drive. Yeah, that's true. Michael Pierce in the middle of the Ravens defense certainly something we have to worry about. Don't like the thought of running against that either. But yes, the Steelers O-line is really, really rough right now. They've taken a lot of body blows on that line. Over the center, over the middle there to Bateman, and pick up a 5 on that little drag route, getting their number 1 receiver involved early is Lamar and the Ravens. 2nd and 5. Little throw out to the outside. He's got Andrews, and Andrews is going to collect a bunch of tacklers to take him down. But he will get the first down in the process. Out of the pistol, Lamar. Now scrambling, flushed out of the pocket. He's just going to throw this one away, as he didn't find anything downfield he liked, and instead elects to get rid of it. 2nd and 10. Now pistol look with a bunch formation to the right. Little fake handoff, and he's going to avoid the pressure of throwing this one away too. So 2 plays in a row without finding anything downfield that he liked, and 2 back-to-back throwaways for Lamar. 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, back to pass. Now working up in the pocket is Lamar. He's going to unload deep. He's got a man down there. Touchdown, Ravens! Wow, what a grab that was, as he just absolutely skied that just out on his fingertips. That was Wallace on the touchdown, who just makes an incredible catch here. We're going to get another look at it, but watch this. As Lamar was working up in the pocket, kind of running forward, throwing the ball, and then a one-handed fingertip, and then bring the other hand in, catch for Wallace. That was incredible. And just like that, Baltimore is going to go up 10-0 here, and all of the momentum is going their way here at home. So a 10-0 ball game with 6:18 in the first quarter, and Baltimore will kick it away, and the Steelers are going to catch that in the end zone and take a knee. So Kenny Pickett's going to take over at the 25, and these Steelers are going to need a response on this drive after their last one went nowhere. Now emptying out the backfield for Kenny Pickett, back to pass. Pressure coming, and he's trying to take another sack right up the middle. And that's Pierce. Speaking of Pierce, there he is. Absolutely dominating up the middle in that weak offensive line for the Steelers, as he breaks through a double team and makes his way all the way back to Kenny Pickett. And Kenny Pickett's going to have to get rid of the ball quickly with this kind of an O-line. He can't afford to sit back there because they're gonna come after him. Hey, John, welcome in. Now unloading to the outside and hitting the back of his tight end. That was really awkward. I don't know why he didn't turn around. He just kind of broke down there at the sideline with his head away from his quarterback. And then Kenny Pickett tried to hit him, but it actually ended up hitting him with the ball, literally, on the backside. So that'll be a 3rd and 19. Yeah, everything's great here. Enjoying a nice, relaxing weekend here, as Kenny Pickett's going to get more pressure, working his way around the pocket, now unloading deep, coming back to the ball, but unable to make the catch. Wow. As I didn't catch what number that was, but or it was Deontay Johnson trying to work his way back to the ball, and he almost makes the catch, but Clark able to jar the ball loose on contact, and so the Steelers are going to go 3 and out again and have to punt, and those sacks really, the pressure and sacks very much affecting the game here, and so a short field yet again for Baltimore. Oh, the ball's out though, and Steelers are going to get the recovery, and that is just what they needed, as special teams magic here, as they force a fumble and take over now from the Baltimore 44. And that's a big deal here for the Steelers, as they had gone 3 and out twice in a row now. Special teams magic, hopefully, to ignite the offense that has really been struggling, because they need an answer. So instead, they got that bomb, and they're going to set up here 1st and 10 now for Kenny Pickett from the Baltimore 44. We'll hand off to Nagy. He's going to work back along the line, and not going to find a lot of room. Only a pickup of 2 there. Out of the gun for Kenny Pickett. Little handoff to Nagy, working up the middle again, and he's going to be quickly met by tacklers, and only a gain of 1 on that Calais Campbell there on the tackle. 3rd and 7. Back to pass this time. Pressure coming. He's going to unload. He's got a man down there, but there's good coverage, and it's just going to fly over the head of everybody, as Deontay Johnson was the closest receiver in the area. So a very long kick here, and it looked like have the leg. I don't think he got it in there, though. I think it went left for Boswell. Drifted just left, so I don't believe that one was good. In fact, it wasn't, as you saw, just long enough, but just pushed to the left. And so The Steelers are going to go empty-handed here after the great special teams play, and effectively they had 2 drives that were effective 2-and-outs back-to-back. So now 3 3-and-outs for the Steelers on their consecutive drives. Now, Dobbins out to the outside as he was able to find a little bit of room to work with and gains 3 yards there. A little pistol look for Baltimore. Now a handoff to J.K. Dobbins. He is going to get tackled quickly in the backfield again, as that O-line has struggled to keep this Steelers defensive line from breaking through the gaps there. They've had some difficulty maintaining blocks, as you see right there. A very nice TFL, and that was Bush in on the tackle. Devin Bush has been pretty active so far in this game for the Steelers. Hey Keith, welcome in. Yeah, we'd love it if both teams could lose this game. Unfortunately, outside of a tie, I guess that's the closest thing. Is that one is going to be J.K. Dobbins having to come all the way back to the ball. For a second, it looked really odd. I wasn't sure if he was trying to set up a screen or if J.K. Dobbins was going to have to come all the way back to it. But, as you saw, J.K. Dobbins came all the way back to it. Very odd little play here. And then his momentum carries him backwards. And again, Bush in on the tackle, which keeps him from going much anywhere. So now the Ravens are going to have to punt, even though they had a very good field position to start that drive. But yes, a Steelers win would create a lot of chaos, as Phil mentions there. It's because there's a bunch of 8-9 in the 8-9 territory. Both of these teams would be 8-9 if the Steelers win. And then there would be some others potentially that are all kind of hanging out in that area. So it'd create a bunch of chaos for who actually gets in. It's obviously the Steelers have to win, and then they've got to have a bunch of help elsewhere to get in. The Ravens are kind of in a control their own destiny, winning and you're in kind of game here. So we'll see how that all works out. Now, 2nd and 10, back to pass. Kenny Pickett, he's got his man who makes one man miss, and then comes around the outside for some additional yardage. That's the rookie Pickens. So some Pickett to Pickens action there. Yes, I agree. It does hurt. Does hurt on the inside to root for these Steelers. Although I do have to say these uniforms are sweet. They look awesome. The black and gold, especially with the all black and the gold striping like that. I really like this look, and that the reason I like it, a big part of why I like it is because these were what my high school uniforms looked like when I was playing in high school. Our uniforms looked almost carbon copy to this. So I do like the look at least. 4th and 2 will be a punt for the Steelers after they're unable to convert. And so Baltimore is going to have another crack, and that is 4 3-and-outs in a row now for the Steelers, whose offensive woes continue. Actually, no, that's not true. They got a first down on the throw to Kenny Pickett. So that one was not truly a 3-and-out. Or actually, not Kenny Pickett, George Pickens. So 1st and 10 from his own 41 for Lamar, and still a 10-0 ball game. After that carry with his legs, picking up the first. Hey, Sean, welcome in. Go Browns. Little fake the handoff to J.K. Dobbins. Now working in the pocket, but going to take the sack. Unable to get rid of it. He looked like he was trying a few times to get rid of it, and Highsmith is going to get in there and sack him back. But looked like he had a couple of targets he wanted to go. He's going to pump fake a couple times here, like one, and then that second one right there. And then Highsmith cleans him up as he was unable to release it. Instead, takes that sack. So 2nd and 18 after the big sack. Out to the outside, he's got a man, and quickly tackled out there is Bateman. That one will get the sack yardage back plus a yard, so a 3rd and 9 coming. Yes, Earl, I do believe that Baker's going to win the starting job in Carolina. In fact, our other game that we're gonna look at today is going to be the Carolina-New Orleans game, because it also has playoff implications. Excuse me, but he'll be in that one, and yes, we do expect he'll start, as this screen is going to get absolutely blown up, and guess who? It's Devin Bush. Excuse me, Devin Bush in on the tackle, and he has been all over the field, making a bunch of TFLs and tackles all over the place. And nicely covered and avoiding a blocker in the process to make that tackle. So Baltimore will punt. And the punt fest continues here. We had some early scoring, but not a lot since, as we are now 14-21 remaining in the first half. But yeah, there's a reason why they traded for him. They know the rookie's not ready. So that Matt Corral is the rookie who is certainly not ready, or else they wouldn't have traded for Baker. And you also don't trade for Baker if you think that Sam Darnold is a better quarterback, because So I would very much expect Baker is going to be the assumed favorite in that quarterback race, or that quarterback competition for Carolina. So, Kenny Pickett now under center. Najee Harris behind him. He's going to hand it off to Najee Harris, who is going to be met in the backfield very quickly, and that's Pierce again in on that tackle. That's his second. And that one a TFL. Loss of 2. 3rd and 12. Third and 12 now for Kenny Pickett. Najee Harris on the left hip out of the gun. Back to pass. He's going to unload deep. Something he likes out there. The defender had a better spot. He's going to take away the ball. Pick there. And that's Marlon Humphrey on the interception. As really, excuse me, that's Peters on the interception. Not 24, not 44. But Peters on the interception here, as he had a better position on it. Really had a step on the defender, or excuse me, he had a step on the receiver, the rookie George Pickens, and so Peters had better positioning on the ball. It wasn't a terrible throw really from Kenny Pickett. Just was the receiver was in a trailing position, so maybe not the best read to throw it there. Lamar Jackson over the middle. He's got Mark Andrews. And that one will be for a first down quickly here. A little bunch formation to the right out of a pistol. He's going to unload to the outside, and that's quickly knocked out of his hands. Mark Andrews, who was unable to corral that. That's an unusual sight. Now another pistol look here. As a quick handoff out to the outside. Avoiding tacklers somehow is J.K. Dobbins. What a run that was. Just weaving his way through the bodies and strangely avoiding tacklers. They didn't seem to be in a position to make the tackle the way that he was running it. What a great run that was, as this run is going to follow up with the first down to complete that set. But gotta be impressed with that J.K. Dobbins run. That was really interesting, just kind of weaving his way through the traffic. With guys really out of position to make the tackle because of the way that J.K. Dobbins ran it. It was interesting. really 3 guys that should have or could have been in on that tackle for that run, but none of them able to actually make a tackle, as this one's going to be an option keeper for Lamar, and he will be met out on the outside pretty quickly. Only a pickup of 1 there, 2nd and 9. Now a handoff to J.K. Dobbins out to the outside, out to the 39-yard line, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 4, as that little bounce worked nicely out on the perimeter as they stretched the defense. 3rd and 4 here. Lamar back to pass. He's got J.K. Dobbins out of the backfield, and that one is going to go for a 1st down. Pick up 5 when he needed 4. 1st and 10. So 10 minutes left in the half, and Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens threatening here on the 35. Now handoff to... Oh, fumble ball's out! The Steelers are going to recover that one. It's a big, big hit on J.K. Dobbins, and he can't hold on to the ball. I didn't catch you leveled the hit, but it was huge. Let's see if we can see it in the replay. But it was definitely out. Oh, what a shot that was! Wow! Boom! And he does it all himself right there. And I don't have the roster in front of me, but whoever number 55 is, that was a big, big shot. I should look that up, though. Kenny Pickett now out of the gun, 1st and 10. We'll hand off to Najee Harris, who's going to fight through 2 tacklers and then get himself up for about 6 yards. Nice little effort run there from Najee Harris. Let's call it 7 yards on the pickup. Back to pass. Out to the outside, he's got his man Najee Harris out of the backfield. Now we'll hand off to Najee Harris, who's going to be met pretty quickly there. Pickup of 2. And back to pass for Kenny Pickett. He's got his man, Chase Claypool, on the reception. And that one is going to be another 1st down here for the Steelers. And it'll hand off to Najee Harris. Say it was Miles Jack, I think is who did it. It's either Devin Bush or Miles Jack. It's one of the linebackers, but was the fumble, the strip fumble, or the hit that stripped the ball, forced fumble, and then the recovery also by the same player. One of the 2 linebackers, either Devin Bush or Miles Jack. We'll hand off up the middle to Najee Harris, who's going to fight through a tackler and gain the 1st down, as the Steelers are finally putting together a drive here. Yeah, 55 is Devin Bush. I thought for some reason I thought 51. I must have been misreading before and calling Devin Bush when I meant Miles Jack, but I thought I had seen Bush on the back of number 51 for some reason, so which was part of what the confusion was. But according to the Steelers' actual roster, 51 is Miles Jack and 55 is Devin Bush. So it should have been Devin Bush if we have the numbers correct. Little bunch formation to the left. Kenny Pickett out of the gun. Back to pass. Pressure's coming. He's going to eat that sack. As Matabuke is in there for half a sack. And then a little throw out to his tight end there. Kenny Pickett now 5 for 10, 35 yards with the 1 pick. And Freiermuth, his 2nd reception on that play. 3rd and 16. Pressure coming. He's just going to eat another sack. As so much pressure. And guess who? Pierce is right back there in the backfield creating havoc yet again. And not much the Steelers' O-line seems to be able to do about it, as they're going to have to punt this one, and that one's going to go right into the end zone.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
So, Lamar Jackson is going to take over at the 20 after the punt. And he is going to hand it off to J.K. Dobbins, who is going to gain all of nothing on that run. 2nd and 10. Pistol look and a handoff. J.K. Dobbins, he's going to be met right there as Highsmith gets in quickly from his outside linebacker position. And he is able to tackle him for no gain as well. So now a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun. And setting up a screen out to the outside, but not cutting towards his blockers is J.K. Dobbins. So he'll only get a single yard on that screen. That was odd. His cavalcade was kind of to the right there, and he elected to go to the left where the defenders were. We'll get another look at it. All the linemen are out here to the right. He instead goes to the left. If he cuts it back behind his blockers there, potentially he has a chance. But instead, he only gets a yard because the defender was right there and made a nice open field tackle. 4th and 9 and a punt. So Kenny Pickett's going to come back out on the field here, and he'll have the ball with a nice field position after the Ravens weren't able to do much of anything. And really, the defensive struggle continues here. Some early scoring from Baltimore, but not much to speak of after that. And now only 2 minutes, 42 seconds remaining in the first half, and it's still a 10-0 ball game. Kenny Pickett's going to fake a handoff up the middle. Now he's going to throw to Najee Harris at his outlet there out of the backfield. And he'll get 8 on the dump off. 2nd and 2, 2:10 remaining in the half. All 3 timeouts for both teams. Back to pass, Kenny Pickett. And now finally throwing it away is Kenny Pickett after he could not find anything. And fortunate that time that his O-line was able to hold their blocks. 3rd and 2. Handoff to Najee Harris, who's going to meet the tackler. And I don't know if they're going to give him credit for that. He was kind of reaching the ball out, trying to get it to the line of scrimmage. But I'm not so sure that he got there. He did not. So a 4th and 1. And a punt for the Steelers. And that's going to give Lamar a chance here before the end of the half. Although a great punt is going to be downed at the 2. What a punt that was. It just kind of sets up and checks at the 2 there. And Lamar's going to have to work out of his own end zone. Now handing it off to J.K. Dobbins. Almost met in the end zone, but tackled shortly thereafter. He was fortunate not to take a safety there, gaining 1 yard. That was Minkah Fitzpatrick coming up to make that tackle. So 2nd and 9 here from the 3. Still in his end zone is Lamar out of the gun. 4-man rush and throwing out to the outside, and that was a bit errant as he was fortunate that didn't get picked. It was closer to a Steeler than a Raven. 3rd and 9. A little handoff, and this one will go right up the middle to get themselves a little bit of space, a little tiny bit of breathing room here for the punter on 4th down. But not very much, though. 1 minute left, and Kenny Pickett is going to get one last crack at this. Still 2 timeouts remaining here for the Steelers. But Kenny Pickett's going to get the start from his own 48 at least. So if he can get a little something going, he's still got 2 timeouts and an opportunity here to at least get into field goal range and maybe put some points on the board if he can get within Boswell's range. Out of the gun. Pressure coming, though, and he's just going to throw this one away smartly before he took that sack. He could not afford to take a sack there. Bunch formation to the left. Single back is Najee Harris. Kenny Pickett under center. Now to throw downfield, and Claypool can't corral that one. So a 3rd and 10. As Claypool unable to come up with a contested catch in that spot. Now throwing, barely getting it past to George Pickens, and the Steelers will quickly burn a timeout. I'm not sure how that wasn't picked because Peters was right there, and I thought he was going to get the ball. But Pickens does somehow come away with it. 1st and 10 now for the Steelers. 30 seconds left. Now throwing out to the outside. That's Najee Harris, who is going to get past the line to gain. Now 29 ticks remaining. I guess they're saying he got out of bounds there. So the clock does stop with 1 timeout left. They're going to empty out the backfield here from the 20-yard line. Pass over the middle. He's got his man. Quick touchdown, Steelers! As that was Deontay Johnson who came wide open there, and Kenny Pickens put it right on him. And what a nice drive for the Steelers as they respond with just 1 minute to go. They did have great field position starting at their own 48, but a nice productive drive there for the Steelers, and the little crosser just brought you see George Pickens working across. He actually brought the other defender out of a tackling position. So that Deontay Johnson could score the touchdown uncontested. So finally, some fireworks and finally a productive drive for the Steelers, able to get their first points of the ball game and make it a 10-7 ball game going into half, and chip away at that momentum advantage that Baltimore has enjoyed for the vast majority of this game. So Baltimore will have the ball again with about 20 seconds left, but they're going to have to start from their own 18-yard line, so most likely expect them to just run the ball here or take a knee and take their 10-7 lead into the locker room for half. So Lamar under center, and he is going to hand it off. They're going to run it up the middle there with Gus the Bus, who is going to gain a few yards there, call it 3, and that will run the clock out to halftime, and both teams will head to the locker room as we head to halftime here in this 10-7 ball game. There's a look at the stats, and not overly productive for either team. Passing yards 119 to 50, favoring the Ravens. That's the biggest disparity there, but both teams struggling really on offense, and it's been mostly a defensive struggle with a lot of punts so far in this ball game. Appreciate Phil for skipping me through the halftime show there. So we're going to start the third quarter here, and the Steelers will have an opportunity to double dip as they'll have the ball first here to start the second half. Under center with Najee Harris, single back. Najee Harris is going to carry the ball and quickly met there. And Pierce in on the tackle for a TFL. Pierce has been so very good in the middle of that line for these Baltimore Ravens. You see him again there just working off of a block and then meeting Najee Harris before he could go anywhere. But Pierce has been a one-man wrecking shop there in the center of the Baltimore Ravens defensive line. And he shows it again there. 2nd and 11. Now back to pass. Kenny Pickett. He's got something he likes. Throws it over the middle, and he's got his man. And that one is going to pick up 8 yards for Deontay Johnson. Over the middle. He's got his man. Nice little floater pass. That's Claypool with his first catch of the ball game. And Claypool, actually no, his second, I guess I missed one earlier, but his second reception of the ball game, as Claypool's been kind of quiet. A few contested catches he wasn't able to come away with, but that one he found a sneaky little spot to work between some defenders, and a nice little throw to just catch him in that little pocket from Kenny Pickens. Under center. He's going to hand it off to Nagy, who's going to work to the outside, wake through one tackler, but then brought down pretty quickly after only 3 yards, and Pierce in on the tackle yet again. Kenny Pickett setting up a screen, now trying to throw it, but throws it at the feet of Najee Harris. And so it'll bring up a 3rd and 7. The delayed handoff to Najee on the draw is not going to work, as Najee was only able to get away with 1 yard before he was tackled, and Clark comes all the way out of his safety position to come make that tackle. Do you see him flying up there to make that tackle? And that's going to bring up a 4th down and ruin the chance at a double dip, as the Steelers will have to punt, even though they got all the way to the 44-yard line of these Ravens. So the angled punt goes out of bounds at the 6. Very nicely done, and that's really Harvin's second really nice punt of the day. The last one had trickled down to the 2 and pinned back the Baltimore Ravens, which set up the touchdown drive, if you'll remember, because of the field swap, and where they got to start after the Ravens had to punt from out of their end zone. So really Harvin and special teams in general having a big impact here for the Steelers. It's been one of the absolute bright spots of their effort so far in this game. So after a TFL for J.K. Dobbins, we'll have, starting out of the end zone, is Lamar. So he's going to unload deep and just overthrows everybody by a good 10 yards. So that'll be 3rd and 11 here now for Lamar. Out of the gun again, working out of his end zone and working up the pocket, but dumping it off to J.K. Dobbins. That's not going to be enough, as he was held 3 yards short of the line to gain. So the Ravens will have to punt again. And once again, they'll be punting out of the end zone. And incoming good field position likely here for the Steelers after another nice defensive effort. Again, really all set up by quality special teams play. Harvin in particular has been very good. 2 really good punts so far. And then one angled and one that just died at the 2, and then of course the forced fumble on special teams that they recovered earlier in the ball game. Yes, very much a defensive struggle here, as both offenses have been very much trying to find their footing and having a hard time of it. But here's Najee Harris, who quickly breaks through the first line and gets to the secondary, and gets to the first down marker very quickly. But that was his best run of the day, as it was well blocked up front, and he just hit that hole very quickly. Look at the stiff arm on Williams there. So 1st and 10 for Kenny Pickett out of the gun. He'll hand off to Najee there at midfield. He's going to fight through a tackler. And he'll pick up 4 on that run. Now on the Ravens' 46-yard line. Back to pass for Kenny Pickett. Pressure is coming, but pressure's still coming. He's finally going to try to get rid of it, and he just barely does. And saves the sack, bringing up a 3rd and 6. Tight bunch to the left. Pressure coming. He's trying to take this sack. Calais Campbell in for his 2nd of the ball game, as that one was absolutely uncontested out on the left perimeter as the Steelers' O-line and their woes continue. Yeah, that is going to be interesting to see. I think, in reality, Williams is going to be very, very good in that defense. I think he's a bit scary. I think that defense in general, that secondary, is really good. So we'll see. But, if they can avoid the injury bug, that's the biggest question. Obviously, losing, so many players for their defense, or actually their team in general. All their running backs, all their secondary seemed to all go down last year. So, and not just like minor injuries, but major season-ending stuff. So, 2nd and 1 out of the pistol. We'll hand off, or fake the handoff. Nice little chop block he manages to get on the pass rush coming, and as a result, Lamar is able to find his tight end, Boyle, and gain 9 yards for a 1st down. Hey, welcome in, Badger. Yeah, absolutely could see some free safety from the Ravens. Now 1st and 10 for Lamar. He's going to unload out to the outside, and he's got his man, Duvernay, but Duvernay had a foot out of bounds when he got it, so that one is going to go incomplete. 2nd and 10. We'll hand off to J.K. Dobbins, who tries a spin before the tackler got there, and it does nothing. And so J.K. Dobbins is going to get tackled for a loss, and Miles Jack was right in there, unfooled by the spin from J.K. Dobbins. 3rd and 13. Pressure coming. He's just going to take a sack here, as Lamar, I don't think he sensed that pressure, and Joseph just got right back there and popped Lamar pretty good. 4th and 22. Yes, absolutely. Phil is dead on. If the Ravens win here, that's the winning you're in scenario for them. Steelers can create absolute chaos in the AFC if they win, because both these Ravens and the Steelers would be 8-9, and it would be the question of which of the 8 and 9 teams, because there would be most likely some additional 8 and 9 teams in the AFC, depending on how the other games go. But it will be a which of the 8 and 9 teams make it in at that point, depending on tiebreakers and such. 1st and 10, and Kenny Pickett's going to unload out to the outside, and Freiermuth is able to, Gentry is on the reception, his 1st of the ball game. That one's going to is going to be enough for a 1st down though. And so the Steelers are right back to midfield again out at the 48. Unloading to, is that Claypool? Yeah, Claypool there. And that one for yet another 1st down. So the Steelers finally, after having chipped away at this momentum, is mostly back and might have something here if they can continue this drive, especially if they can score, as most of the momentum is out of the Baltimore Ravens bar there. As Najee Harris going to fight through the line. What a run that was, as he had 2 tacklers on either side, and he was being squeezed, and he just forced his way through it to get to the next level. That was impressive, and then Hamilton came in to clean it up. But that was very impressive. Hey, Kevin, welcome in. Go Browns. Yes, Cadillac Carl. We hadn't seen a Cadillac Carl sighting in a long time, but he was so good for the Browns, especially in our Sims. He was just a Mack truck. It would just crush people. And we saw a good look at his sack there. Back for Kenny Pickett out to the outside. He's got Deontay Johnson on the reception for a pickup of 5. 2nd and 5 now on the 19-yard line. And a little false start. Unfortunate, because that's going to put them just outside of the red zone now. And going to back them up to the original line of scrimmage with a 2nd and 10. So all that work to Deontay taken off, taken out by the false start on the O-line. Kenny Pickett, pressure coming, trying to set up a screen. He's just going to eat a sack, so that will definitely knock them back. 3rd and 22 here, as again, the woes of setting up the screen in Madden have prevailed for quite a bit. It's very, very rarely anymore do we see successful screens. You see all that pressure coming. I don't know what it is about the mechanics with screens right now, but they've been awful. And that's Wolf who is in on the sack. Back to pass for Kenny Pickett, 3rd and 22. He unloads to the outside, and that's just not going to get it done. Najee Harris fell down right away. 4th and 20, so I guess they're going to just settle for this field goal, but that feels like not the outcome they really wanted here. They will tie the ball game if they make this, but they had a lot of momentum on that drive, and it feels like a win for the defense more so than the offense, even though the Steelers do manage to tie up the score here at 10-10. But with the way that the defense has been playing, that's the one thing that is going in the Steelers' favor here, is that their defense has been quite good. So if they can continue to chip away at the momentum and potentially have some more production on offense, then maybe they can get themselves ahead in this game. So 3:05 here in the 3rd quarter. If you're just joining us, Phil is here on the chat taking care of his wife who is not feeling well, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll send her get well soon wishes. As what's going to play here from Mark Andrews, I'm not even calling it, but he was wide open and then just refusing to go down, absorbing all kinds of hits and tacklers. We're going to get another look at it here in the replay. It's just, well, that wasn't a very good look at it. But maybe we'll get a better replay. No, we will get the worst replay ever. Unfortunately, it was a really nice play that I didn't really call, but he was wide open and was able to get all kinds of yardage for the Baltimore Ravens there, did Mark Andrews. But anyway, so we'll all, Nagy Nation, appreciate your well wishes for his wife feeling better here soon. But he is on the chat, and he is back from his vacation. And we're bringing some playoff implication games here. This one because the AFC has a big sack out from the outside, as that one Witherspoon in on the outside blitz and uncontested to the quarterback will bring up a 4th and 11 for Baltimore. But this one our week 18 sims here. We're doing our spotlight games with playoff implications. This one because of all the teams in that kind of 8 and 9 realm. And if the Steelers come away with a win here, both of these teams would be 8 and 9, and the chaos in the AFC would ensue. The Ravens are in a win and you're in kind of scenario, so this one's important to them also. And then as they control their destiny with this game. And then the other game we're going to look at is the Carolina Panthers and New Orleans Saints, which is another playoff implication game on the NFC side. Now under center for the Steelers, 1st and 10. Kenny Pickett's got a little RPO fake to the outside and then handed off to Najee Harris, but that one was going to be blown up in the backfield there. And guess who? Pierce with his 5th tackle, his 3rd TFL, and he has got a number of sacks to go with that as well. So he has been very active and very good in that D-line for the Ravens. Second and 11 out of the gun, emptying out the backfield, and he's just going to do a design quarterback sneak. Or a quarterback draw. Interesting choice there from Kenny Pickett to pick up 2 yards. Not the guy I would choose to do a quarterback draw with necessarily, but that's what that was. And so he does at least pick up 2 in the effort, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 9. So out of the gun. Back to pass pressure is coming, but he's going to unload it deep. He's got a man out there in a contested catch, and unable to come away with it is Deontay Johnson. And that'll be a 4th and 9 and a punt for the Steelers. So I thought for a moment we might see a little bit of fireworks, but that one going incomplete, as many of the others have so far. Yeah, potentially, John. I think Daniel Jones is in a very much, make or break season for him. I think they'll move on from him very quickly if he doesn't have a very good season for the Giants. So see what happens. A little option here for Lamar is going to have all kinds of room, and he'll get to the line to gain and a first down. Mike Tomlin's rushing yardage. That would be funny. Mike Tomlin suits up on the field and goes and gets some yardage there for the Steelers. That would be impressive. 1st and 10. Little handoff, J.K. Dobbins. He quickly threw the line, and that was a nice little run as he got out past the line to gain. Right. And that time, I think they were just respecting Lamar on the option, and that time he read it correctly and just left it in the hands of J.K. Dobbins, who had a nice little hole and was able to get through that quickly. 1st and 10. Now from the 36-yard line, handoff to J.K. Dobbins, huge hole up the middle, and he's going to break through some tacklers out to the 20-yard line. Nice little run there from J.K. Dobbins, who is quietly putting together a nice day here. And these late rushing yardage starting to add up. As you can tell, the Steelers' defensive line is starting to wear down, and the Baltimore O-line is starting to get a little bit more push up front. That was a really nice hole that he had to work with. Little handoff out to the outside, Gus the Bus, who is going to be met quickly out there by the linebackers, but a pickup of 3, Miles Jack in on the tackle. And Devin Bush as well out to the outside, a little option this time, well contained by the Steelers. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 9. Would be interesting if stats, speaking of that, John, it would be interesting if stats were tracked just for, like, the coaches were credited with the individual players' stats. So, like, the coaches get the credit for all the rush yardage for the team. It was just credited to the coach, not to the actual players. That would be interesting. Little option there, and he worked his way into the inside, but not enough to pick up a first down as Miles Jack came in on that tackle. And 4th and 7 here will force a field goal attempt for Baltimore. Yeah, they're tracking the actual. They like put trackers on the coaches on the headgear or something, and then on the headsets, and then track the actual distance traveled up the field and down the field. That'd be an interesting little side bet or parlay kind of bet for a game. Distance traveled by the head coach on the sideline, like if you're an over under for distance traveled. Or maybe even a speed, an over-under for how quickly they hustle up or down the field. Okay, so it is actually an offensive stat for coach. Hey, I guess that's technically, yeah, that's right. We are in franchise mode, and because he's the head coach, it shows it as his goal as the head coach, since we control all the teams, but we're controlling this game from Baltimore, or excuse me, from the Steelers' perspective. So 1st and 10 here for Kenny Pickett, back to pass. Pressure coming, and but he breaks out of the tackle. Wow, that was Calais Campbell, unable to make a sack, and instead he's going to connect downfield on the broken play with the rookie George Pickens, and that was wild. Calais Campbell, I thought for sure was going to get a sack there, but Kenny Pickett just shrugged it off. Pressure's coming, and that one's going to come out, and the Ravens are going to recover that, as that was just the opposite of what he wanted to have happen. The last time he shrugged it off, that time he kind of didn't protect the ball, and it gets jarred loose, and the Ravens are going to recover it, and guess who? Pierce is the man who recovers that, as Bowser was on the strip sack. Well, option keeper, and Lamar has got Truz enabled, so he cannot fumble while carrying the ball. That's his X factor, and he'll pick up one there. Hey, Cassius, welcome in. And we appreciate the well wishes, obviously. We are all hoping and praying that she will get better very speedily. 3rd and 9, back to pass. Lamar flushed a bit, but unloading it to his outlet. That's J.K. Dobbins, who fights towards the first down and gains it. So now with 9:45 remaining in the ballgame and all of the momentum on their side, with a 6-point lead, these Ravens are again within striking distance. Little option keeper again, and the defender can't make the tackle because he turned the wrong way. That was so weird. I don't know what that was about, but lucky for him, he only picked up 2 yards to Lamar. So Lamar's going to fake a handoff. Little option again, no one there, and he's going to get to the line to gain. Finally, the defense recovers, as that looked for a moment like he was just going to waltz in. But Wallace was able to react finally and make a tackle at the right at the sticks. Yeah, I don't know, John. We've seen a lot of that kind of jump and throw for don't know why they do that. That animation is kind of awkward. A little pitch outside to Gus the Bus. He's going to work his way back to the inside and get down, tackled down at the 2. 2nd and goal now. In a goal line set for both sides. Bring in the tight end in motion. Now throw into the tight end. Touchdown Ravens, uncontested. That was too easy. Just nothing there to defend it whatsoever on the Steelers. They bit in on the play fake, and then did not see the leaking tight end out on the flat. Uncontested. That was much too easy. So the Ravens will go for 2 here. Out of the gun is Lamar on the 2-point conversion attempts, and throwing to J.K. Dobbins, and that one was also very easy, as a little bit of off coverage there on J.K. Dobbins allowed for him to come away with really an uncontested catch for the 2-point conversion. And so a 24-10 ball game, and that might have done it. That may have sealed it here with 7:33 remaining in the ball game and a 2-score lead for Baltimore. Yeah, Charlie Kolar, thank you. I did not recognize the number or the name on the back, so I appreciate that. 1st and 10. And since he's a rookie, that would make sense that I didn't recognize. I don't know all the rookies in the class, that's for sure. The 2nd and 10. Out of the gun for Kenny Pickett. Pressure coming, but he unloads, and he's going to get Claypool with a lot of defenders right there. Finally, a contested catch made by Claypool. That's kind of his calling card, but only one so far he's managed here in this game. Yep, that's pretty much signature Ravens. The ugly game with a bunch of defense, some turnovers, and capitalize on the turnovers. Najee Harris now with the late handoff. He is going to be out to the second level, but tackled there after a pickup of 6. Now from the 49-yard line, back to pass is Kenny Pickett. Pressure coming. He's going to unload out of bounds as he had a receiver in the area, but that one he just sailed out of bounds on him. I think he intentionally was trying to throw it away, though. 3rd and 4. Now unloading out to the outside, but quickly knocked out of his hands. That's George Pickens, yep. And Kenny Pickett now finding himself the 4th and 4, down 14. They're going to have to go for this. From midfield, back to pass. Pressure coming, he's going to unload. Flag, though, I think they roughed the passer, and they're going to get a free set of downs as Kenny Pickett took a shot, and they're going to get a free first down to keep them in this ball game. And it was Derek Wolfe, the guilty party, who hit Kenny Pickett late. From under center, Najee Harris on the carry. Nice little cut in the hole, and out to the line to gain. Call it a pickup of 9. I'm surprised that's not a 2nd and inches. It looks like a 2nd and inches to me. We'll hand off to Najee Harris again. He's got a nice little hole, but we've got a flag. I think that's going to be a hold, and that wasn't Najee, excuse me. Yeah, it was a hold. And so, just like that, Kevin Dotson is going to get called here. And they're going to be marching backwards. 2nd and 9 now. Hey, Karen, welcome in. Go Browns. Pressure coming. He's going to eat a sack. Out on the outside, Jefferson getting in way too quickly before Kenny Pickett could do anything about it. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 18 here. And this is desperation times now for the Steelers. So they're going to empty out and spread them wide. Pressure coming. Trying to unload a duck downfield. And it's, incomplete. He had 4 defenders. 1 receiver in the area was George Pickens, but George Pickens couldn't come up with it. And so now a 4th and 18. And again, I feel like you kind of got to go for this, and they do. 4th and 18. This is probably the ball game. He unloads again. Hit as he threw, but he's got a receiver who is unable to come up with the catch. Wow. So much unfortunate for the Steelers there as they just twice in a row taking huge pressure. That was Pierce in there contesting that throw, and Boykin couldn't come up with it, even though he had a great shot at making the catch and just letting his quarterback down. There were George Pickens probably didn't have much of a chance, but Boykin certainly did, and twice the pressure gets home and affects the throw from Kenny Pickett, and hence we have a turnover on downs, and that's probably going to be all she wrote in this game, as now the Ravens, barring just really quick 3 and outs to give the Steelers plenty of opportunity with time, the Ravens just have to run out the clock. Now dumping it off to his running back out of the backfield, that's J.K. Dobbins for a pickup of 6, 3rd and 4. Yeah, a lot of sacks for Baltimore in this one. Back to pass. Over the middle. He's got his man. That's Mark Andrews. And now just ticking under 3 minutes on the clock as the Ravens are full-on shoe clock mode, as you see J.K. Dobbins fight through about 4 tacklers. Very much protecting the ball with both hands there. Courtland Sutton on the tackle. And First and 10 for the Ravens, now at the 27-yard line. Little option keeper. Kind of surprised they're electing to run. I know he's a threat, but Lamar is a valuable asset. You don't want him to get hurt. He probably shouldn't be running options at this point in the ball game, trying to run the clock out. Probably, I mean, it would be really unfortunate to go into the playoffs having won the game but lost your best player, by running Lamar in a pretty much over ball game. That would be a silly way to get him injured, especially on the brink of the playoffs with a win that would get you in, but probably at the same time lose you the playoffs for having your best player out for the playoffs if he were to get hurt. Yeah, Dobbins has been so good in this ballgame. He's had some really impressive runs, as has Najee Harris, to be fair. Both running backs have had some really impressive runs. But Dobbins has just been a little bit more consistent and some better stat line on the day, as the Ravens are going to salt the wound just a little bit more by adding 3 more points, making it a 27-10 ball game, and that 17 points is all but is pretty much not going to be something that the Steelers could overcome with only a minute and 49 left. That's a lot of scoring they'd have to do in a minute 49. And as we all know, there are no 17-point plays in football. First and 10. Back to pass pressure coming. He's going to take another sack, as that O-line has been absolutely mauled all day long over the middle, and quickly tackled his Claypool, and he's unable to hold on to it. 3rd and 20. Yeah, definitely not with this O-line and the two onside kicks. It's just not going to happen. Now airing it deep, and and then they're going to get a mercy score here. Deontay Johnson, nice play. That's probably the only. I mean, they just needed that to happen a lot earlier in the ball game, because I don't know why they're even bothering to celebrate this. Because this ball game is over, and it has nothing. This play has no bearing on the outcome of the ball game. Because as Phil has already mentioned, with the O-line that they have and the need for 2 onside kicks, one here and then a real quick second score just like that, and then yet another onside kick, that is an incredibly tall ask just to have a potential at 10 points here to even tie it up. And, just not going to happen here, as their first attempt at an onside kick is coming now, and will be recovered by the Ravens. And don't run with that. Don't ever run with the ball on an onside kick recovery for your hands team. You just cover it up. I don't know why Madden has them do that, but you don't run with the ball. That opens the opportunity for a fumble to be recovered by the kicking team. That is a huge, huge mistake. You don't ever run with the ball on an onside kick. So, victory formation here for Baltimore, as Lamar will take the knee, and for some inexplicable reason, Madden seems to think that it's worth just dragging this out and calling timeouts if you have them, which makes no sense. But a second knee coming here from the victory formation. And one last final knee will end this ball game. And Baltimore has cemented their playoff hopes with this win, as they have sealed their position in the playoffs, and will be making an appearance, having won against the Steelers here today.
Come on, baby.
So, not the most exciting football game, as we had a lot of defensive struggle going on there, but we had some really nice individual efforts, some really good special teams effort from the Steelers at times. Both defenses were really getting rowdy back there, having a good time, and the offense is having a lot of struggles. And then we had some late fireworks. Finally, Baltimore getting on track, and then the Steelers trying to get something in response, but too little and too late, as we know. So the Ravens will come away with that win. And we certainly enjoyed getting to see it. We enjoyed having you all here to watch it with us. So thank you for being here. Thanks to our subscribers. You all are great, and the supporters of the channel. As Phil's going to take us through the stats here. We have 1926 for Lamar Jackson, 228, 2 touchdowns with no interceptions for 73% clip. Nice day for him. And then J.K. Dobbins on 26 attempts, 75 yards with 1 fumble, 5 broken tackles though. Gus the Bus only 7 yards. Lamar carrying for 45 and 1 broken tackle. On the receiving side, we had most of the work done by J.K. Dobbins for 26 yards. Mark Andrews 5 for 116. 1 touchdown was for Kolar, the rookie, and 1 for Wallace as well. Devin Duvernay, on the defensive side, 10 total tackles by Pierce, 7 TFLs, 2 sacks. What a day for him. And then a look at the rest. We had 2 sacks from Wolf, 2 from Campbell, 2 from Pierce, 1.5 from Bowser, Tyus Bowser, and then 1 from Johnson, 1/2 from Matabike. So quite the impressive stat line on the stack side for this Baltimore Ravens defense. On the Steelers side of the house, Kenny Pickett, 18 to 36, 275, 2 touchdowns with 1 interception at a 50% clip, so a bit of a rough day for him. Najee Harris, 22 attempts, 65 yards, and on a 2.9 average, so tough sledding in the middle for him. On the receiving side of the house, 4 catches for most of the players there. Deontay Johnson with 118 yards, and then a number of drops. So Miles Jack, the leading tackler, with 23, Edmonds with 11, Devin Bush with 11, Witherspoon with 7. 6 TFLs for Miles Jack, and then sacks, 1 for Highsmith, 1 for Witherspoon, and 1 for the ex-Brown Carl Joseph, Cadillac Carl. All right, so that'll do it. As I was starting to say, appreciate the subscribers, appreciate the likes. All the support has been fantastic, and appreciate the well wishes for Mrs. Nagy on Sport, Phil's wife. But we really very much appreciate bringing these games to you. You all have been amazing and very supportive, and this is a lot of fun. Here's a look at the playoff picture as it stands right now. As you can see, the Ravens, the number 6 seed, having won that game was big for them. And then Jacksonville currently in is an interesting development. I believe they're 8-8, currently going into the ball game they're about to play. So an interesting development there. But if you would like a link to our Discord to chat all things Browns and all things NFL in between the Sims, and to get notifications of when the Sims are coming up, feel free to do so. The link to that is in the description of this video or any of our other videos. And then we have other polls and things that you can get involved in there as well. But love chatting with you anytime during the sim, and also after the fact and on our Discord. So very much appreciate everybody being on. We'll say go Ravens for today. And as always, go Browns!